What's up, everybody? AverageDworf here, bringing you a video. I've been out for about a month. You know how it is. Life gets stressful. You just got no time for Azeroth, no time to stream, no time to make videos, barely finding time to play with the boys. But we're back. I'm going to be off work for about a month because reasons. And so I'm going to be hitting this YouTube channel and I'm going to be streaming pretty hard. Thanks so much for checking out the content. If you enjoy it, like and subscribe. I stumbled across this add-on called Alter Ego in my travels that I thought I'd tell you about. It's absolutely fantastic. It keeps track of what key you have, what key you've done. It keeps track of your vault. I mean, it's absolutely tremendous. I used to use Alcoholic back in the day, but I don't know. I haven't really messed with it again since the add-on purge. So Alter Ego, check it out. I'll leave a link in the description. And you can see your boy did some keys this week. A little bit of rating and some keys. So we're going to get into that. First up, we got Trunk, the main Coltiran Resto Druid, up to just over 3,200 now. I'd like to go for 34, but I keep going back and forth on what tune in particular I would like to do that on. Some of these heal checks, even at the 14 and the 15 level, are intense. This one on the screen right now, I feel like is one of the toughest ones of the season. But when you have a DK that's about to melt everything's face, along with a decent mage and a decent warlock, I mean, it's a good mage and a good warlock. Who am I to call anybody decent? When you have this group, this heal check is very doable. But when you're out there living in these pug streets the way that I am, with a group that damage isn't that great, people are standing in bad things, taking extra damage, the heal checks just seem intense. So most likely I will go for 3,400 on my Resto Druid. That's historically been the tune that I push for the highest rating with. Although I've never gotten anything close to 3,400. I usually quit about the 3K mark. We'll see what happens this season. If I increase my rating per key, like if I get one rating increase out of all 8 dungeons a week, I can get 3,400. I also have a group of friends I play with. One of those friends is already 3,400. He's been doing very well. He plays both the Frost Mage and a tank, a Brewmaster Monk. So as I play with my friends, certain keys will be a little bit easier. So we'll just see how it goes. My thoughts on Resto Druid, just generally speaking. First off, big fan of the changes not to have to kitty weave in order to hold on to my mana. It's a massive change, huge benefit. I love it. I'm all about it. Second of all, I'm just happy I'm not a bear. These poor bears, man, they are riding a roller coaster. All right, who cares? If you're a WoW nerd like me, you've seen that 5 bear druids timed to 20 on a Sunday and Blizz announced nerfs on a Monday. Who really cares? There's something that gets my goat about this game, World of Warcraft. And that is that I think that there is a massive disconnect between players at different skill levels that players like myself and other players that are maybe not at the top of the skill tree are unaware of. All right, it does not matter that 5 of the best bears in the world can time a 20. All right, I don't care about that at all. What I care about is being able to time a 16 with a bear tank. So I would have preferred that bears didn't get nerfed. More tanks in the pool, good for the game. I don't see, we're going to talk about tanks quite a bit next when I get into my Blood DK, but I don't see a massive diversity in tanks. I'm going to be honest with you. Before this Tuesday's buff, I'm putting this out on the 12th. Before this Tuesday's buffs, I just don't invite paladins. I hate to admit it, but I just don't invite paladins. I very rarely see blood. I timed my highest key with a blood, but I'm pretty much been a Brewmaster Monk or a Prot Warrior have been the only tanks that I have consistently invited this season. So my biggest thoughts on Resto Druid is that thank God we're not a bear. Let me clarify what I mean by don't invite before the internet comes after me for gatekeeping with my key, like you're entitled to be a part of my key. What I mean by that is I'm not seeing other tanks in the pool. I see the most Brewmaster Monks, I see the most Prot Warriors, so I've played the most with them. I will invite Blood, I will invite Guardian. Like I told you, I timed my highest key with the Blood. I have no problem inviting other tanks, I'm just not seeing other tanks. The tank pool does seem a little small. Prot Paladins, Piss off. I'm not inviting you. Watch some of my Key of the Week videos if you want to see how I feel about paladins. Alright, we'll cut in some clips from my Great Vault stream I do on Tuesday mornings. Feel free to come check me out on Twitch over there as well. But let's see the fruit of our labor here on a druid. We really want a Locust Walker's Ribbon. Alright? Tree form for good luck. Locust Walker's Ribbon, here we go. Even if it's heroic, I mean, that's effectively my best in slot. Would be Locust Walker's Ribbon on heroic. No luck. I hate this game. This is the worst game in the history of games. I don't even want to play this stupid game anymore. Alright, next up, let's talk about my Blood DK Brune, who I dusted off this week. And I did that before I knew about the buffs. I'm very happy for the buffs. So the way that I like to play World of Warcraft, I like to be able to hop in any 10 key and fill any role. So I usually play tank, ranged healer, melee healer, range DPS, melee DPS. I like to be able to do whatever the group needs. I try to show up for it. Blood DK has been my tank of choice for quite some time, and I gotta say, I tanked every 10 with the exception of one pre-buff before the 12th, and I felt okay. You're gonna have to check back over the coming weeks to see how high I go on my DK, but I don't have much motivation to go above 10s or 12s unless I feel like there's something for me there. So when I decide which tune I'm actually going to push for that 3400 on, it might end up being Blood DK. We'll know in a couple more weeks. I might get it this week on my Druid. You never know what's going to happen when you're living in the Mythic Plus Pug streets. But the other thing I wanted to talk about, as you know, we watch a little Blood DK footage here, is there's this idea circling around about gatekeeping an M+. And I'm not going to say that it's not a thing. I'm sure that it is a thing. My highest ranked tune is a Resto Druid in the meta. What I don't like is the idea that people feel entitled to be a part of someone else's key instead of making friends or instead of running their own key. I pushed a Blood DK's key this week from a 2 to a 10, listed my 10s as timer complete chill keys, and I timed 7 out of 8 10s, and the only reason I didn't time the 10th is because I never got that key. Or I mean, the only reason I didn't time the 8th is because I never got that key. I think it's Pit of Sauron that I still haven't done yet on my Blood DK. But this idea of gatekeeping an M+, I gotta say I object. It might be a problem. There may be problems with Mythic Plus. There may be problems with World of Warcraft. But the idea that the community is going to solve that problem for you, or that you're entitled to just get invites to keys, that's nonsense. Run your own key, make a couple of friends. You really don't need an incredibly large group of players to do well in this game. And after you're timing 10s, that's the end of the gear rewards. So just keep on farming that myth vault, keep on getting that myth gear, use your bonus rolls, yada yada yada. You're not entitled to join someone else's key just because you have item level, just because you have IO. You'll see as I make more videos and as you play the game, when you list a key in World of Warcraft, you get so many people that are above 280 with stupid high IO that why wouldn't you take them? I hear the case all the time, the argument that gatekeeping happens at M+, and the M+ community is destroying itself. I'm calling bullocks on that. Why wouldn't I take a higher item level, higher IO player to a key that's going to be progression for me? Why would I take someone that's either similar or below? It just doesn't make sense. So I'm not sure that this is an actual problem, number one. If it takes a long time to queue, I'm sorry for you. I don't have that problem. Number two, if it is a problem, why are you expecting other players to fix that problem for you instead of fixing it for yourself? All right, that's enough of the rant. Blood DK is fun. Come back in the coming weeks. We'll see how high I go. If I stick to my guns, feeling like Blood DK Saneland is playable or not, stay tuned. We'll cut back to the Tuesday stream, see the fruits of our Blood DK labor here. Let's see, this will be the first, I think this will be the first myth track. Why is my Death Knight all Technicolor? What's up with them shoulders? I do not have that done like that. I wonder what that's about. It's alright, don't bother me, but buggy ass shit. Anything good? Myth chest. Myth cloak. Crit mastery. Myth cloak. Crit haste. I think I take the myth chest. Yes. Choices have been made. Right, next up we have the Dwarf Survival Hunter Brew Shot. Obviously one-time marksman. Marksman's garbage. I haven't liked marksman in several X-Packs. I think I switched to survival at some point in Dragonflight. I went back to marksman and played a little beast mastery and the War Within. But this survival sentinel build is legit. I might be trolling. I might be playing a lower damage build. Sometimes I feel like I'm trolling, especially my friends hard carry me through keys. You might have seen that on the log shot that I just put up on the screen. But in terms of fun factor, survival sentinel is quite high. Very, very high. Really enjoy it. So here's a little bit of that. We'll see how high I go. So this tune, I would like this tune to be in the running for my 3400 tune. However, I'm not kidding when I say I feel like I'm trolling by not playing Pack Leader. I don't like Pack Leader. Pack Leader does much higher damage from everything I've seen. Like, I looked through Archon, I looked through Warcraft logs. Like, there aren't even Sentinel survival hunters for pages and pages and pages. But that's the build I'm going to play. If that means I hit a ceiling at 12 or 13, I'm going to go ahead and hit a ceiling at 12 or 13, and that'll just be kind of what it is for my hunter. And that's a-okay. If I don't play a great meta DPS spec, if I don't get 3400 on my preferred spec, that's fine. I'm a healer main. I've always been a healer main. I've been a healer main for years and years and years and years. So this is all just kind of shenanigans. This is because I really enjoy the class fantasy of a dwarf engineer survival hunter with a robot sheep. I mean, what's cooler than that? I even built our house around this guy in the lull between seasons. So we'll cut back to the stream here and we will check to see what the hunter got. I forgot. It was only this morning before I made this video and I already forgot what I got. Oh shit, there it is, boys. I totally forgot I wanted that so bad. And now I got it. Hell yeah. I forgot to record any footage of my warlock playing the game, but there he is. He's a thing. He's out there. He's my ranged DPS. Thank God for Kalamazi. If Kalamazi wasn't around making videos, I would be totally lost. I'll probably try the no Felguard build at some point on my warlock. I'm not sure what's what. Later in the week, I'll get into that. Last and probably least, we got Balfred, the Holy Paladin. Balfred is one of those, it's Sunday night, it's Monday night, I want to do M+, but I don't really want to wipe and wipe and wipe and wipe. I don't want to have a hard time getting invites. You know, I just want to queue up and go. That's usually where I fall into Holy Pally. That being said, Holy Pally's all right. It doesn't feel as strong as Resto Druid. I definitely don't feel weak on a Holy Paladin. I've timed in 11 and all 10s, and that's all right with me. That's going to give me full myth track gear. Holy Pally doesn't feel like a melee healer anymore. It feels like you're weaving in and out of melee, but the way that losing Crusader Strike changed the feel of the spec for me is something that I haven't quite adapted to quite yet, and I'm not sure that I will ever adapt to that. It just feels wrong not having Crusader Strike, so I really hope that we get Crusader Strike as a holy power builder. It's like they jump through all these hoops, so now Judgment gives you 2 holy power every now and again. Just give me Crusader Strike. I feel like there's like a massive change to the playstyle of the class that I don't like. I don't enjoy it. I don't feel like I have to be in melee anymore as a Holy Paladin, and the reason why I always play Holy Paladin or Mistweaver Monk is because I want to have that experience of being a ranged healer on either a Shaman or a Druid, and a melee healer on a Monk or a Paladin. Notice I forgot about Priest. Whatever. It is what it is. I'm sure I'll get around to playing Priest at some point, but I'm not even close to burnout on M Plus right now. I'm really enjoying it. I've leveled a lot of characters already. I don't really want to stop to level again, probably until after 3400. So I'm going to decide on which tune that is and then really push for that over the next month. And on the topic of the next month, let's talk about what's going to happen with the YouTube channel, what's going to happen with the stream. Thanks so much for making it this far and tuning in. So I'm going to be streaming a lot and making a lot of videos over the course of the next month. This week, next week, I plan to decide if I'm going to go for 3400 at all. That's the first question. Am I going to do this at all? If so, how quickly? And how quickly on what tune? So I'm going to be sorting that out live over there on Twitch over the next couple of weeks. Come check me out. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you all had as good of luck in your vaults this week as my hunter did. Peace. Oh yeah, I hate stupid paladins so much that I forgot that my paladin has a vault that will tag in here at the end of the stream. Stupid paladins. We will do Holy Paladin. What does my Holy Pally even want? I don't know. I did a bunch of Algathars, a Myth-Track weapon, Myth-Track shield. I don't even know if the Myth-Track weapon or shield out of Algathar is any good. I pulled a Myth-Track chest on my bonus roll last night. Let's see what we get. Haste Mastery Sword is probably pretty good. I mean, how do I not take a Haste Mastery Myth-Track Sword, right? I would have to farm to upgrade that. But I think long term that's the best option. That will also free up an embellishment slot. I can craft another item. Man, I might want to grind some keys on my Holy Paladin this week.